So No Man's Sky, huh? Ian probably feels worse and worse about his review, which he wasn't aware of all the bad stuff the marketing had done. All the bad stuff Sean Murray had said that it turned out to be false advertising from Hello Games regarding the game release. All the screenshots of the game that turned out not to appear in the game, different graphic style, stuff like huge space battles that didn't appear, and customizing, battleships and things like that. And he wasn't aware of that. Giant dinosaurs, So we talked about before how they're being investigated in the UK by the Advertising Standards Authority for false advertising, misleading advertising. The No Man's Sky subreddit was temporarily closed because the moderator described it, in quotes, as a hate-filled waste hole because people are so pissed about this game. Remember, this is a game that dropped like 90% of its player base in like the first like few weeks. They're like, okay, fuck this, I'm out. Not to say people can't enjoy stuff about it, but when you're sold a false sale of goods, you're not going to be happy. Absolutely not. So, PlayStation executive Shawn Layden was on Live with YouTube Gaming. And so far, this is the only worthwhile thing to come out of that Live with YouTube Gaming show. Number of topics came up, and the reaction to No Man's Sky did, obviously. He said Hello Games had, in quotes, an incredible vision for what they wanted to make. He said that a No Man's Sky with procedurally generated worlds was something that had never been done before. Well, not exactly. There's been procedurally generated stuff in games going back to Elite, where you literally had worlds that were procedurally generated. You just couldn't explore those worlds, but, they were worlds. So that's not totally accurate. He said, in quotes, I think Hello Games, Sean Murray, and his team had an incredible vision of what they were going to create. Something never done before. And a very small team had a very huge ambition. Now they're still working at it. They're still updating it. They're trying to get closer to what their vision was. I played a lot when it came out. I think what we learned is that we don't want to stifle ambition. We don't want to stifle creativity. We don't want to put people into slots where they must execute against an action-adventure path or a fighting path or a shooting path. That's great, Mr. Layden. But it's okay for not wanting to stifle ambition, but you also don't want to push a game that's promising shit that doesn't exist in the release version. Because now you have Hello Games and Sean Murray, who could be done in the industry potentially. And remember, Sony, you backed this game. You put marketing dollars behind this. You wanted to make this your console exclusive. Yes, it was on the PC, but I know that, but it wasn't on Microsoft system. You were all in on this. You priced it as a AAA title at $60. So maybe you saying it was only a 6-person team. Maybe you should have priced it at 30 or 20. It should have been like an independent price, So this was, you're culpable here a little bit, and you didn't have any overseeing of this to say, hey, what the hell's going on with this game? A month before launch, this has nothing of what we showed in the advertising for the past year and a half. Where are the big dinosaurs? Where are all these huge space battles? Where's these branching paths? Where's all this shit we were promised? Where's the trading? So he went on to say, nobody in development wants to say that they can't do a thing right. No one wants to tell someone, I know I can't do that for you. People are really trying. I think looking at the different industries is why the privilege of working in the game industry is where everybody has a courage to say yes. And they want to try to realize their ambitions. No one's saying game developers shouldn't realize their ambitions. You should not promise shit that's not going to be in the final game. That's what people have been saying. I know this is him doing PR speak, but come on, man. Unbelievable. I mean, I didn't have a horse in that race. I didn't care if No Man's Sky crashed and burned on its own merit or did well, but I do care about false advertising. I do care about that, and I do care about people getting snookered out of their at a $60 plus tax for a game they've been waiting for 2 years for, and getting something else entirely. Other stuff on this interview from Jeff Keighley about the PS and the Pro and Project Scorpio and everything else coming out. And oh, Jesus Christ, I don't care right now about this. I really don't. I don't care about these mid-generation, last-generation console releases. Oh, man. So there you have it. No Man's Sky. Sean Murray, you're a rich man. Sony, you made money off it, but my God, this situation, there's got to be safeguards in place. Sony, if you're going to throw money behind a small company like this, you gotta put some sort of shackle on them so they can't do this, or come in and help with more manpower and make sure this game comes out and it's what people thought they were. It's what you advertise, is what was promised in interviews and in videos. Unbelievable.